Hey everybody, welcome to Gregsbeerreviews. Let's go see what's in the fridge today. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Today's beer comes from Founders Brewing. They're out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Guys, I reviewed this beer a couple years ago and thought it was very, very tasty. This is a Scotch / wee heavy, and this is done in aged in oak bourbon barrels. And this is a whopper beer. This is a big beer coming in. Let's see here. I got this from Brandon. He sent this to me. It says here bottled on 9/27 of 2016. This is an 11.2%er. So this beer is going to keep for quite a while. And this was probably one of my favorites from Founders. This beer does sell very well. And like I said, this is a 2016 edition. And I thought it was a great beer the last time I had it. And I have bought several 4-packs of this over the years and cellared them for up to a year, and they're still damn tasty. So a great beer to pick up and have one now and have one 6 months from now and a year or 2 or 5 down the road, just to see how it ages and how it matures in the bottle. I think it's an excellent beer to cellar. And a lot of these bourbon barrel beers are in the stout or the porter style imperial stuff. So they are real good beers to cellar. They're not cheap beers to buy. When you get into this 11 plus category for its ABV and being bourbon barrel aged on top of that, they can be kind of pricey. So just remember that when you go in and see a 4-pack of this and it's $15, $18 or a little bit more, it is what it is. I mean, you're not buying Budweiser here. I mean, this has been in a bourbon barrel and it's been taking up space in the brewery somewhere before they put it in the bottle, so they're going to be a little expensive. And on top of that, being 11.2%, it takes a lot of malt and hops to brew a beer of that magnitude, not counting the bourbon barrel aging that goes through. So great beers, but they're not cheap beers. You're not gonna pick them up cheap because they sell well and they don't go bad. So if you see one of these on there, it's a 2013 or 2014 edition on the shelf, just consider they've aged it for you and it's still going to be good. So don't let that scare you. Not like an IPA or a double IPA. This beer sellers very well. So let's get on with this. Commercial description says, big and delicious for your pretty mouth. Oh yeah, got a pretty mouth. Expect lovely warm smells of single malt Scotch, oaky bourbon barrel smoke, sweet caramel, and roasted malts. That makes my mouth water just reading that. A bit of earthy spice and scintillia of dark cherries. It's a kickback sipper made to excite the palate. And it is a sipper now, guys. It's 11.2%. You grab a 4-pack of this and suck them all down at one time, you're drunk as a pig. Ain't no doubt about it. If you're going to do that, do it at home. Don't go out to a bar and try to drink 4 of these. Unless you got a designated driver, you've called Uber or a taxi or a good friend to take you home, because This will get you in trouble. You'd be looking at the long arm of Johnny Law with that flashlight sticking in your window asking for your license, and you'll be asked to get out of the car and do this and walk the line and then get the curl handcuffs put on you. And that's an expensive process, trust me. I've not had it, but I know a lot of people who have. That's why I do my drinking here in the house. All I got to do is settle back in the bedroom. I'm not hurting myself. I'm not hurting anybody. No innocent kids or anybody. So drink this one at home if you can, and if you don't drink a whole lot of them if you're out at a bar or a brew pub. And if you do, have somebody drive you home. Don't try to drink this magnitude of a beer and try to drive home. That'd be stupid. That'd be stupid. It would. You might get lucky. Then again, you might go downtown. Yeah. Gray Bar Hotel. That's what they say. Alright guys. Well, I'll get the cap off of this bad boy. This was sent to me by Brandon. Brandon, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate it. I have reviewed this beer before, guys. And I do think it's an outstanding beer from Founders. Food pairing says the cheeses are buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss. The meat is smoked meat, salmon, and glassware to pint, Becker, Knock, Tumbler, Snifter, Tulip. I'm going to go down the center for the final end of this pour. And can be sold for long periods of time. Didn't pour a massive head, and I didn't expect it really to at 11.2%. But I didn't pour super aggressive all the way up. The head is just barely covering the top of the beer. And there is some nice red rubiness around here. It's kind of a murky brown color though. But I can't see light through the bottom part of the glass here. But let's get a nose on it. Hints of caramel, toffee, bourbon. Maybe a hint of those dark cherries they're talking about. And it's right out of the fridge, and those flavors and aromas are going to come out once it warms up to room temperature, which I will let it do, like I always do. People tell me, oh, you shouldn't drink that beer right out of the fridge. You should let it come up to room temperature. I always let the beers come up to room temperature, no matter what beer it is. Unless it's a lager. I don't let those come up to room temperature. I usually try to drink those in about 15 or 20 minutes. But the IPAs and the double IPAs, usually I sip on them 30 minutes or longer, and some of these bigger beers are even longer than that. Nice malt backbone to this. It smells very much like a barley wine, like a barrel-aged barley wine to me. Nice sweet back end. Wow, smells delicious. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Brandon. Thank you, sir. Wow. Just as I remember it. Frickin' delicious. Like I told you, this is a 2016 edition here, and I'm reviewing it. Today is the 30th of December, which is 2016, but you won't see this review until January or so of next year. I'm that far ahead on the beer reviews, but this is a 2016 edition of this beer. And like I told you, it was put in the bottle on September the 27th. So, still very, very tasty. And September of 2017, or December of 2017, even 2018 is still going to be a delicious beer. This beer will sell very, very well, guys. I have done it. I have done it. I've kept these beers for a couple of years, and they're still very, very tasty. Actually, a lot of times they'll get even tastier. They'll have time to combine and mellow out, and you'll get a lot more pleasant experience, especially on 11%. Not always the beers will sell good. If they're brewed with coffee or some other kind of ingredient that will fade over time, sometimes you'll lose that. But this one has no coffee or anything in it that's going to fade on you. This is a great beer to sell, and I keep saying that, but it is because I know I've done it. It's a very tasty beer. So it's right out of the fridge, 40 degrees. Let's let it warm up, and let me step out on the deck. And though it's about 30 degrees out there, I'll have to suit up and go out there and fire up a nice Maduro wrapped cigar to go with this while I sip on it. And we'll come back and do the final chug and grade on this one, see where it ends up. But it's just as tasty as I remember it being. And I enjoy this beer. I would buy this beer. I have bought this beer. It is a great beer. But it's not a cheap beer. But it is a great beer. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Got just a little left here. Awesome beer. Very, very tasty beer. For a bourbon barrel aged Scotch / wee heavy beer, it's awesome. It's delicious. Got everything on the bottle you need, the ABV and the bottled on date, not an enjoy by date or a best by date. Tells you exactly when it was put in the bottle. So, and the IBUs would be nice to have, but not critical on this style of beer. And I do like them doing the bottled on date. Very easy to see on the back label. There's no question about how old the beer is. So, very nicely done. I like how they do their packaging. I do. And like I told you earlier, this is a great beer to pick up and sell if you want to. There's nothing in this beer that's going to keep you from selling this beer for a long time. So, very tasty. Just as good and tasty as I remember it being. So Brandon, once again, thank you, my friend, my brother, for sending me this. I hadn't had it in a while. So, and it is available here. But these kind of beers, when they show up, unless you're there the day or the week that it shows up, a lot of times they disappear real quick. Because people know how tasty these beers are. So they don't hang around very long. So if you see it, pick it up, especially if you like these bourbon barrel aged beers. They are very tasty. I love them. I love a bourbon barrel aged beer, no matter whether it's a Scotch, wee heavy, Imperial Porter, Imperial Stout. Not so much into the barrel aged IPAs. Some of the brewers are doing that now, but the hops fade. When they put them in a barrel and let it set for a while, unless they re-dry hop it after they get it out before they bottle it, those hops fade so bad. So this style of beer works very well. Final chug. That is so delicious, guys. Very, very tasty beer. Awesome beer, as a matter of fact. To me, for the style of beer that it is, bourbon barrel aged, information on the bottle, it's a 10. This is a great beer. For a bourbon barrel aged Scotch / wee heavy beer, it doesn't get any better than this. It's pretty damn tasty. A great final beer of the evening, which it is for me. And like I told you, the 2016 version, and today's the 30th of December 2016, but you won't see it until January or so, may even be February for this post. I don't know how far ahead I am, but it won't post till 2017, guys. So very tasty, and it doesn't matter whether it's in 2017 or even 2018 before the beer is reviewed or posted. This beer is going to be just as tasty, if not tastier. So for 11.2%, the alcohol is very, 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 did I say very? Very well hidden. So just remember that. And this beer will get you in trouble if you're drinking it out in a bar in a brew pub if you're having more than one. Even one. Just one of these is enough to get you in trouble if you're driving. Just remember that. So drink it at home. That's what I do. Alright guys, we'll run over to, I told you it was a 10 beer for me. That means it's 100. We'll go over to Beer Advocate. They say 95 world class. I think it's a tad better than a 95. I don't know what it would take for them to give it a better score than that for a bourbon barrel aged wee heavy or Scotch ale. I don't know what would make it any better. I don't have any idea. This is a 10 beer, guys, from me. Over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer has it at 100 overall and 100 in the style. And over to Untapped, the 2016 version, they have it listed by the year. The 2016 version is a 4.37. Pretty impressive number from those guys. I don't think I've seen anything on the Untapped sites better than a 4.5 something. I don't think I've seen anything at a 4.6 or better from those guys. So this is about as good as it gets from the Untapped guys over there. So very tasty, very awesome beer, very well made beer. Probably one of my favorites as far as a regular issued beer, a yearly done beer. Now they do some bigger 22 ounces and stuff like that that are pretty impressive too. But for something you can buy in a 4-pack, very tasty, very well done. So if you've had this one, this is a 2016 edition from Founders Brewing, their Backwood Bastard 2016. Let me know what you think. It's just as good as the one I had before and reviewed it. And it's probably been a year or two, maybe even 3 since I reviewed it. I didn't go back and look and see when I reviewed it, but it is awesome. Very tasty. So Brandon, once again, my friend, my brother, I do appreciate you sending it to me. And guys, if you've had this, whether it's a 2016 or whatever, let me know what you think of it, especially if you've had the 2016 version. Because a lot of times the beers change a little bit from year to year. And then, and like I said, to cellar this beer and do a vertical between a 2015 and a 2016, or 2014 or 2013 and 2016 side by side, just to see how much it does change. And that may be something I'll do down the road if I'll get one, and because I don't think I've got any downstairs in the cellaring fridge, but I'll have to look and see, because they've been so damn tasty. I'll run down and grab one and suck it up as the final beer of the evening with me without doing the reviews. So I don't know if I've got any older ones down there, but I may do a vertical down the road on this one. So if you've had it, let me know what you think, guys. And we'll back tomorrow. Let's see what's in the fridge.